Hello everyone, welcome back and welcome to viewers to some more Stormworks. Today we are back working on our cargo carrier, our jet cargo carrier at that. Already got some suggestions to make this thing go forward. That was already part of the plan, so we are going to do that today. It already has proven itself to lift 6 containers. That's awesome. I don't think we'll ever carry that many in career mode. Maybe 3 max, but I think I'm going to plan for carrying 1 to 2 on a constant. So we'll plan the build around that. So that's what we're going to be working on today. I felt like I was hearing stuff. I always feel like I'm hearing stuff during these little intros here. So let's go ahead and just grab this. Let's jump back in the workbench with this and start figuring out where we want to lay this out. Actually, the first thing I want to do is we never even messed with this gearbox yesterday. I'm already screwing things up. Come on, back at it. There we go. Back out. Okay, back in. Perfect. So first thing I want to change here is I want to take a T-pipe. Let's put this in here. We're going to rotate that 1,000 times until we get it right. There we go. And then I want a torque meter. So we're going to take that torque meter and we're going to place it right here. And that's going to give us our RPS value on our props versus what we have on our engines here. So let's go for dials. We're going to do 2 of these. 1, 2. This will be engine RPS. Got to spell stuff right. 0, 20. I think the jets go more than that. Let's just I can't remember. We're just gonna put 100 value on that. And then the props RPS, I think our sweet spot is like 60 for this. So if we can figure that out, let's go ahead and let's just do a 9 to 5. See what that does for us. Because if we can get the engines running a lot more powerful, then we have more fuel to carry. So we'll go back to 32. Speed us up here. You know, what's the point of the dials if I don't hook them up, right? What is the point of them? Torque, RPS. So we got that, and then we got, where's our engine RPS? That's air pressure, throttle, temp, RPS. There we go. Try that again. Okay, on. A little bit of throttle. Hit that. So far, so good. Okay. We are definitely getting way... Okay, we can... Let's bring this down to... Woo! Okay, way too much power. Way too much power. Can I take this down to 8? I mean, it works, but it's like... It's way too much power on those props here. Can I not go down? We're just going to run at 100 non-stop. So maybe we don't even need a gear ratio in here. Let's just take it back to nothing right now. And then let's work on something else. So what I need to do here is we had this little outport here. This was for RPS being sent through and up to another system here. So we want to get off of this. We could come down like that. And since our center of mass is kind of lower, I want to make sure that our fan is kind of low. And that way we can kind of just pull from the center of where we are. So let's go back to jet stuff. We're going to get ourselves a turbine, and we're going to kind of plop that right there in the center. And then we want a jet fan. We want the big jet fan because this actually has thrust on it. So there we go. Now that is our thrust for this. Now we got to hook this up. So let's grab our seat and everything. We're going to cut that. Let's move that forward, shall we? So we'll do that like that. We can bring, I don't know, that down to like, oh, hang on. We'll bring it down to there. And we'll just connect all this back up to there. Merge it together. Perfect. Now we just need to get a pipe in here. So we'll do a straight piece. There we go. And then we'll hook all this up. Whenever I figure out how to turn the pipes. There we go. This gets hooked up to here. There to there. There. And then a corner. Perfect. Probably going to need... Oh, we're going to need in here. We're going to need a clutch. That's going to allow us to turn this fan on and off. And then I'm going to need a gearbox so we can actually get the speeds that we want out of this. And then I'm going to want to brake this system. So when I turn this off, this fan's going to continue to spin and we're going to continue to get thrust out of that. I want to stop when I want to stop, not, 100, 200 yards down the way. So we're going to get a tire. Nope. They're called wheels. We're just going to grab a 3x3 wheel here, and where can I put this that's not going to be a problem? Honestly, I think down here where the gearbox is, and then we can put the gearbox up a little higher. So let's do that. So we'll do our wheel here. So So that'll be our braking system, and then we need a gearbox. That way we can tune this to be the speeds that we need. Now I need a numerical switch. I think this is how I want to do this. We'll just set this there for now. What kind of inputs do I have for braking? Braking is going to be an on-off because we're not using the variable brakes. We just want to use the on-off. I mean, I guess if I do the variable brake, once this gets a signal, it will stop this, right? That is the plan. So we're going to need a NOT gate. So the NOT gate goes there. Yeah, it's going to have to be this. So when we are not engaged in the clutch, this brake system needs to be on, making this stop. Okay, so we'll use button, I always like button 4. It's just easy to kind of reach with the index finger there. So we'll do signal there. This will give our clutch there. And I know we've got another 1 signal here. Here we go. We'll use that same one right there. 0 on the off value. And then I'm going to need... How do I get from here? How do I get a numerical value into an on-off? Oh, I just go from here to here, right? So when that's off, that's braked, and when it's on, it turns the fan on. That should be how we want it. I think that's right. Let's label our keys here. So we'll call this thrust. Thrust, okay. Let's spawn that in. Let's just go ahead and go through some sequencing here with our switches. See what they do. Okay. So nothing's engaged, so that means that this should be brake is true. So then we get back in the seat, we hit 4, so that should engage our props here, which then disengages the brake. Let's give this a go. I just hit 4, so our brake is on. A little bit of throttle. We'll spool it up. It did not like that for some reason. Try again. Why aren't we starting? Oh, hey, puppy. Why is it not starting now? Okay, brake is off. That's allowing that to spin. Interesting. But my forward thrust is not spinning. Okay. I hit the brake on that, and it's slowing our RPS down. This used to work. This used to work. You know what it is? I know what it is. I got my brake on the wrong side of my clutch. That's what's going on here. So let's move our clutch. So we'll move that up. We'll rotate that to like that, and then to there. Paste. So we'll need some straight pipes in here. So there and there. So that should mean that this is not connected while that's trying to brake. Let's try that again. But I also noticed that the fan was not spinning, so I don't know what's going on there either. So we'll have to fix that. Oh, too much power. Too much power. Okay, that definitely fixed it. That definitely allows us to spool up a lot quicker. Come on, let's get our RPS. I guess I could do the same thing as put a clutch on the props too, so that when we're in flight mode, we can just cut the props off, because we won't need those. They might be kind of contradicting to us when we're trying to do maneuvers. So let's fly. Okay, we can fly. What happens when we do thrust? Nothing. Nothing is happening. Is my... Hang on. I might have done something wrong here. Hang on. Hang on. I did. This is backwards. This is all backwards. That's why this felt wrong to me. Okay, so let's cut that. Cut. Rotate. Paste. Perfect. That goes into that. Then we cut that. And then we just make do and figure it out that way. Perfect. There we go. There we go. Nope. Okay. We got it. We got it. There we go. Merge this together. Merge that with that. Now, there should be power going into that fan. All right. If this works, I do not expect this to go well if it does fly, just because we have no control surfaces. But I just want to see this thing working. So let's see. Power on. Throttle. We'll hook it up. Third person. Come on. Spool up. We'll help you out. There we go. Those motors are nice. They help push that RPS a little bit faster. That way we can get off the ground a little faster. All right. We've got our thrust. Okay. Now, if I engage our forward thrust, what happens? Nothing. Nothing is happening. Clutch is engaged, right? What is going on here? I need like some lights or indicators to let me know that this is working. The switch goes into here. So when this switch is on, it's going to send a value to the clutch. allowing power to go through. It takes the brake off. I don't understand. Theoretically, this should be working now. Didn't have power connected up. So we need power to that and that. I'm so used to working with Infinite Electric on. I guarantee you this is what's going on. If not, then I'm confused. If not, I'm going to be completely confused. Is Infinite on? Nope, it's off. Okay, so that's got to be what it was. Spool this up. Come on. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, it's already spinning. And it looks like the brake does work. Nice. Okay. Let's get in the air and see what kind of damage we can do. Where are we at, blade-wise? Okay, I think we can start lifting. Yep, we can start lifting. Just adding this front engine on it has already lowered our RPS, even with the clutch on. That's interesting. All right, let's get a little higher. This is not going to go well. Let's just punch it. Let's go. Ooh. Okay, here we go. It is flying, but I have no control surfaces, which is why it's already kind of freaking out. But it's pretty fast. It's already pretty fast. Yeah, this is going to be good. I think this is going to be good. Okay, yep, this was to be expected. So we're going to have to put another, I'm going to do another gyro on here. I know that seems kind of redundant, but I like to have two different settings for like control flaps and my coaxials. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to throw another gyro on here. That way I can control surfaces. And this won't happen at all. I think we need to put a clutch on the rotors as well, so that when we are in flight mode, we're not fighting with our rotors at all. Yep, there we go. Doing flips. Doing some flips. All right. But this works. If I turn this off, how well does the brake? The brake is engaged, and we're already back in helicopter mode. This is nice. It works nice and easy. Okay, let's grab this. Perfect. In the workbench. Okay, so that worked. I feel like we could at least gear that up to 3.2. We'll see how that does. I need another gyro. Can I just plop that on top? Nope. Can I plop it up here? Nope. Can I plop it somewhere right here? Nope. And it doesn't fit in there either, which would have been nice if that was a nice little boop boop. In here. Maybe in here. There we go. Right in there. Perfect. Alright, so that's going to be for our flight controls. So we'll need mirror mode on. We're going to need some sort of, I guess a wing structure like that. And then we're going to need something that comes off the back like that. So we can have roll, pitch, and yaw in this system here. Let's go ahead and go to rudders. Try to make this as small and compact as we can. So let's go to the back here. We'll go like this. Go back to our rudders. Rotate them 1,000 times until we get the right way. So when we give it W, it'll be W is positive, so that will force our ailerons down, right? Ailerons? Elevators. Our elevators will be forced down. Okay, so that's right. So that's like that, and then we need the rudder. So A is positive. So we'll take mirror mode off. Get ourselves in position here. Rotate. So this is roll. Wait, why did I think A and D is... No, so it's left and right. So left is positive. That still works right. Okay, so A and D over here. A is positive. So we want to roll it over this way so that when we hit A... No, that was right. When we hit A, ailerons go up, causing us to roll over. Let's put them here first. So we'll do like 1, 2, 3. Flip them over 1, 2, 3 like that. Go back to mirror mode. Let's get rid of all that junk there. I think that's pretty good as far as this thing functioning. Let's make sure we power it up because I'm notorious for that. Power these guys up. Is that everything? Why does that not look right? What did I hook up to the... What are those hooked up to? To that? What is that? Oh, to a motor? Okay, well that's not where I needed to hook things up. That's the wrong node. Give me a second. Alright, that looks like everything is hooked up. Nope, no, we need the gyro there. And then we need to hook up our actual nodes. So, how did we do this last time? When the power is toggled on. There we go. And then we just need W and S into pitch. Up and down into up and down, which we're not going to use. A and D into roll. Left and right into yaw. And then I wanted a clutch in all this system here. So we're going to have to move all of this. At least by 1. So we'll do cut, We can go, we'll go forward one because we are shifting our weight a little bit more forward here with some of the build. We'll get rid of that and that. We'll go ahead and place a corner there. And then we can grab a clutch, stick it in there. We'll merge this back. And we need to do the exact opposite of when we hook up to this. So when this is on, this needs to be off. So I need another numerical, maybe? I might not need this, but this is how we're going to do it. So we'll do here. We'll do here. And then we'll use the NOT gate to turn this on. And I think we can use the same value there. Let's see if this works. Let's see. All right, whoops, in the seat. Okay, we'll crank it up a little bit. I can see I've already broken it. Oh, I didn't give it power. I did not give it power. This is getting kind of obnoxious for me. Let's see, there we go. So that's power. Let's try this one again. Power. Whoops. Get back in the seat. Okay, that is causing those to turn. That's good. Okay. We'll get that cranked up. A little more power in that. That's good. If I hit the brakes, do those stop? They don't stop instantly, but I think they stop getting power to them, which is great. Yep, that's what's going on. All right, so we got that working. I didn't even check yet. My control surfaces are not working. Okay. Interesting. How about if I fly like this? Okay, that works. All that still works. I just don't have any input on the control surfaces. Hang on. Now what's going on? Does that have power? That has power. It's hooked up, so when we turn on the thing, it turns on this gyro. Oh. Wow. Wow. Oh, man. It helps to hook stuff up. It really helps to hook stuff up. So here's our roll. And then we need our yaw. Whoops, I heard only one click. There's our yaw. And our pitch is hooked up, good. I also want to let's do a speed sensor. So we'll slap that on the front of this. When did it get these little, when did it get these? That feels new. Did we always use linear? Angular? Linear? I feel like I always used angular for speed sensors. I'm not sure anymore. Oh well, this is what we're going to use. We'll get ourselves another dial. We'll put that there. We'll get our speed into that. So at least we'll have meters a second. You know what? I've got a speed sensor that's going to be even better for this. Let me find it real quick. Let me just get out my fun board here. It's got all my favorite microcontrollers on it. And I think it's this one here. Nope, that's, maybe it's this one here. There we go. That's the one we want. And we'll get rid of that. Come in here and flip this on the side like that. And then we just go into there. So we don't really need that dial, but now we've got, let's just get rid of it. Oh, it's going to delete that. Delete. There we go. Now we can put something else there if we need to. So everything should be connected up here. We've got a little bit of a speed sensor. We have changed the ratio here. So let's spawn this in and see where we're at, shall we? All right. Power. Throttle. More power. Props are rotating. Once this gets, once we get all this working, we can start to really just start decorating this and making this thing look nice. That's going to be the fun part. Okay, power. We've got power. Can we see my controls moving? My controls are moving. Those are backwards. Okay. And what about this? Those, I can't tell very much of what those are doing. Let's just punch it. Let's go. And I think my controls are backwards. All right, let's save it. Let's save it. Nope, didn't save it. Lost the container. Hey, but it flies better now. All right, let's figure out what we did wrong here. Let's sit in it without all that power going to it. Okay, let's look here. So that's wrong. That's correct. And those are also wrong. So I got all my math backwards. That's fun. So let's start back here. We'll select these, cut those, rotate those. So we'll merge those, and then we need to flip all of these. So I think we can grab all of these. Yep, cut, flip, paste, merge. That should fix our problems, hopefully. Let's give that a go. All right, power on, throttle up. Really get it cranking. Hopefully, let's see. No, these are still wrong. That's right. That's right. My roll is still wrong. I don't understand. I need positive. Oh, when I flipped it like, okay. Yeah, when I flipped it like that, I literally just flipped it. I didn't flip the actual. There we go. Paste. Clear. Cut. Paste. Yeah, I literally just put it back in the same position that it was already in. Oh, okay. Fun times. Fun times. Here we go. We're getting close. We're getting close, everyone. We're getting there. We're just working through all the things that happen when you play this game. All right, so there we go. We're cranked up. We're spooling up. My roll is correct now. Awesome. Pitch is good. Yaw is good. All right. It's already got a nice little, almost like a nice little profile. I'm really excited to start cleaning this up and making this look good. All right, we've got our power here. Let's get into the air. Works like a charm. Let's do some forward thrust. Forward thrust works great. Look at that. Our props are off, so now we are just an airplane. We are just now an airplane. How fast are we going? Okay, we're using the wrong sensor. But I feel like we're moving pretty fast. This is quite quick. Yeah, I need to tune the gyro down a little bit for our roll. You can see they're kind of bugging out a little bit. But I mean, we're literally almost at the next airport. Like this is great. Okay, I want to fix this. I want to see how fast we're actually going. Where are we? Oh, we're way down here already. All right, so we need linear. Yeah, this is the one we used. I don't know what I was thinking. It's this one. This goes into there. Spawn it in. All right, all powered up. Let's do this again. I need some speed test. All right, in the air. Let's just go. Where are we at? 228, 230. Can we hit 30? 230. So we're doing 230 miles an hour or 371 kph. That's awesome. If I go more, do we get more? We don't get more, but we might be able to tune this gearbox to give us some more power. But I mean, honestly, we're cruising. This is some fast speeds right here, and it doesn't feel like I'm carrying a container at all, which is awesome. Let's get. I kind of want to tune this up a little bit. I want to see if we can get some more speed out of our fan here. So let's do that. Man, it flies so good. It flies so good. Let's fly back. I want to see what it's like to go into heli mode and see how fast we can come to a stop here without floating across the runway. All right, so I'm going to engage right here at the train tracks. We're engaged, and I'll take that. That's not a lot of drift. That puts us kind of right where we need to be. That's good. All right, let's go. What was I doing? We were going to change how fast this thing goes. Let's see if we can make it faster. So that would be the gearbox here. Let's try 9.5. Just see if we can get any more miles an hour kph out of this. All right, back in the air. New gear ratio. Send it. How are we looking? 220, 230. RPS is still about the same. This might be our maximum here, but I mean, we are again. This is cruising. We are cruising across here. So, like, just for reference, let's just say we're going to grab a container here, and we'll start our trip. All right, let's just say container is grabbed from here. How long does it take us to get to the other island? Oh, there's our containers from last time. Look at them floating there. All right. How long? Not very long at all. It's not going to be long. I'm watching the timer. All right, here is South Harbor right here. We are just hitting the like the 2-minute mark. 2 minutes to cross the water to come over here and drop off a container. That's insane. Let's slow up here. I want to see what the distance from here to FJ is. Oh, look, there's a container down there. Let's just slow up here. Let's go to our map. We're gonna put a waypoint just right there. How far away is that? 16K. All right, let's do some math here. So the Arctic is about 100K from here. We're going to divide that by our 16. Okay, that's 6.25. We're going to multiply that by our 2 minutes. We'll say 2.25 minutes just to give us a little bit of extra there. It would take 14 minutes to get to the Arctic with this vehicle. 14 minutes. And in 14 minutes, you could be making close to 100 grand just with that. Which is kind of cool. So if I'm talking about the Arctic, we're going to need heaters on this thing. I'm going to need to make some refuel systems. There's a lot that needs to be done. Oh, man, this thing's so good. This thing was so good. I did not expect it to start working this well. Ooh, pull up. Pull up. But we're getting there. Holy crap, we're getting there. All right, so yeah, we've put our forward thrust into this. We've got controls over that. I need to tweak the gyro just a little bit to get that roll under control there. But everything else is working great. We need some buttons to release the cargo underneath. And we might even, honestly, we could build some sort of like rescue cargo piece to go underneath this. And while we're, not using it for actually moving cargo, we can move people. Ooh, that could be good. What else? I want a closed cockpit. I want to start doing some dials, buttons, things like that. I want to start making this thing look cleaner. I want to hide the props so we can't see them. I also want to hide them in some sort of, I guess, a nacelle. I want them inside of a nacelle, but it wouldn't be a nacelle. It's a cowl. Yeah, there we go, a cowl. The props need to be in some sort of cowl. Other than that, we're getting pretty close to be able to pull this thing into career. Let's take it back to base here. I want to see how much it cost us right now. I haven't even looked at that. All right, in the workbench, we are looking at a vehicle that costs $34,000, $35,000. It's not cheap, but it's not expensive. Considering what it does, I'm pretty excited about that. Let's go ahead and fix this roll here. So down to 60. Everything else looked like it was pretty good. Whoops. Yeah, I'm excited about this. What if we, just for temporary, we come in here and we add some wings like that. There we go. And we'll do the same thing back here just for looks. Just for temporary looks. So we'll do that. There we go. That works. That works for now. It gives us some more of makes it look a little faster. Perfect. Well, I'm gonna leave it here, everyone. Got pretty far with this today. We've got another goal achieved. We've got this thing working with forward flight, which is awesome. So next time we're gonna work on making this thing look a little bit better. I do want to I don't know, make some sort of passenger carrier thing here. We could do a whole like med container. Have a med bed in here, a whole bunch of seats, more equipment, firefighting abilities. Oh, we could carry water. We could carry water and literally have, stand here and spray stuff off. This gives us a lot of multi-use. Is that the word I'm looking for? I guess it is. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you 100%. If you are enjoying Stormworks, make sure you throw a like on this video. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And yeah, we will see you guys in the next one. Just gonna take this thing for one last flight. Oh man, this thing takes off like a bullet. I love it. I absolutely love this. Whoa, I saw 390 there for a second. I did see 390. There it is, 391, 392, yeah, okay, we got this. This thing's gonna be awesome.